Hi there, I come to you from my kitchen today, preparing for myself another healthy meal that, yes, is gluten-free. So many people were asking me today, because I connect with people when I work at the health food stores. I was at Nature's Emporium today. One of the gentlemen gets migraines and has had them consistently this week. And another of the women were talking to me about lymphatic. Lymph gets really stagnant from gluten. Usually the initial culprit, or like the main culprit, I should say, for any poor health symptom is gluten. And I asked them if they'd be willing to cut that out of their diet. It's completely different when you're in Italy and you're eating the real deal. I remember going there as a child and actually losing weight. It's completely different eating the gluten in bread that is not overly processed, that's not grown with Roundup, all these extra chemicals. Well, the bread nowadays is really, really hard on the system, and it's highly processed. It's like a drug. So I noticed the dopamine right away, the serotonin, and gluten is acidic. Acidosis is another name for inflammation, is another name for itis. If you've been told you have gastritis, tendinitis, arthritis, really you have to just alkalize your body. That's the solution. Bread and gluten are creating a stagnation of the lymphatic system. The word glue is right in the word, gluten. You can make paper mache out of white flour and throw a baseball paper mache at some drywall and make a hole in it. So what's it then doing to the GI tract and to the bowels? I remember raw vegan, I would have 2 to 3 movements a day. With this way that I've been eating, that's not the case. I've definitely noticed a decrease, and therefore everything sits up top of the bowels, and our health is totally related to our GI tract. So they say that the GI tract is the root of the tree and stems from there all the branches to health. So really keeping the GI tract moving is part of the reason I want to go off gluten. The whiter the bread, the sooner you're dead. So it's been about 15 years since I've been to Germany for my alkaline detox certification. And even though I have all this knowledge, I had some serious mental health issues, and I wanted to eat. And when I was really I was really healed physically, I actually did not feel my body. When you look back at my content and you see me quite slim, I was completely free of pain in my body, stiffness, I didn't exercise. I just went on walks. I would do an hour walk every day, bounce on the trampoline. I got rid of my trampoline. I still love my walks, but I do about half an hour a day. Some days I don't get out. The issue was, though, that I didn't know myself. It's been 2 years of really working with my emotions, my mental health, that having values and spiritual principles as a way of life is perfectly desirable. In fact, it's very, very helpful. I've been a part of a beautiful women's group, non-denominational, multicultural group of women, where we use prayer songs to send out the loving intention to support this world and where we're at. We use shamanic drum and vocals. It's really helped me in terms of figuring out who I am. I feel a lot more grounded and at ease within myself, and even more equipped to support you on your journey. So please don't hesitate to reach out with questions. It would be an honor to coach you if that would be something that you're interested in. I would love that. We can do virtual coaching. I also offer Reiki. I love sharing Reiki. I just act as a channel for this divine white light to come through, and I was complimented by a customer today on my energy, and I really appreciate that because it's taken this journey of exploring diet and self-expression and, you know, to feel as if I belong somewhere and to find community. It's taken so much work. Time for rest and contemplation, solitude, connecting with myself, connecting with my higher power. I use nature to do that primarily. And now I feel like I have landed, and I feel just more equipped in general to be sharing. And in a way, I'm glad that I'm suffering and need to come back to this regenerative healing life. And then she also asked, well, are you cleansing with this new lifestyle, you know, where you're off gluten? And I thought that was a great question, very intuitive actually, because yes, you want to be using a lot of herbal medicine. I gotta skin my lettuce. Nobody likes to eat wet lettuce. And that'll be in some of the top 5 things that I share. Definitely will be the herbs. And I will share these top 5 things coming in the next weeks. So if there's any way I can support you or any information that you're looking for, I can always direct you toward that. I do act as a resource center for holistic healing. And if you look back on some of my content, even check out my YouTube channel, Jeanette Anakini, or my website, thehealingjunction.ca, or just my Instagram here, or wherever you're watching this, for previous content that I created on this subject. There's quite a lot to delve into, and yeah, I hope you would like to make a little change with me, and we can go on this journey together. It's really so abundant and filled with life force, energy, and doesn't zap your energy the way gluten does. I'm just so looking forward to all the energy that living this way can bring. And I'm filled with a healthy regret about giving up this lifestyle. However, you know, that's how life is. It just ebbs, it flows, and it's quite wonderful in that way. You know, if everything always stayed the same, it really wouldn't be life. You know, life has to be lifey, has to have its challenges. And you know, without the lows in life, we wouldn't have the highs. So I feel really blessed that I've been able to experience the depths of emotion that come with mental health and mental healing and emotional healing and all of that work we do with mind, body, and spirit healing, because it affords me empathy and compassion for others. And I think those are qualities that I've always admired in others. So I am on my way, and yeah, just really just feeling so full. I can't wait to see how my body feels. I know that there will be some inevitable pain with the detoxification process. Maple syrup, a little bit on the salad is just chef's kiss. But yeah, the detox. And of course, one of the bonuses is that I'll be fitting better into my clothes. They were starting to get a little tight. I'm ready to just allow my body to be what it wants to be in a vegetarian way, because a vegetarian lifestyle, I'm gonna definitely have more waste because, well, got a little goat's cheese here. So a vegetarian diet will have more protein, and it won't be exclusively raw either, the way I'm going to be eating, but you never know where my journey will take me. Maybe I will want to be completely free from my body again, in terms of not feeling pain and discomfort and just having so much energy. I used to require very little sleep, but I will say that that pain that you move through during regenerative detox. So when you're really on a detox and you're really eliminating these obstructive foods, you will experience pain, but you will definitely come out stronger on the other end. Every single time I came out stronger, and it got to the point where I just felt so good, and I really didn't require very much sleep at all to feel great. So yeah, the reality is that with regenerative detox, there will be suffering. You won't be like, I don't want to glorify it, because you're going to suffer as the acids and toxins come out. But that's because they're so embedded now, and the lymph is so stagnant and constricted that once they come back into circulation and start moving out of you, there'll be a few things that you're going to need to go through. There might be days where you're in bed. It just depends how deep you go with your journey. And those days that I was in bed, I always came out stronger afterwards. So this is my healthy meal. I'm really so grateful for you to be with me today, especially in this way. And I hope that you know that I would love to be here for you in any way possible to support you on your journey. So please let me know.